Hey guys, welcome back. So this is going to be another flick through of another White Dwarf. This is number 305. I'm going to see if I can get this one in focus a wee bit better. Okay, it looks okay, I suppose. Yeah, so this is 2005, which is pretty crazy. May 2005, very different world. This was, I think, before the newest version of the Wood Elves for Warhammer Fantasy came out. So that just goes to show you how old it is that Warhammer Fantasy is still a thing. Dawn of War, first supplement for Dawn of War. So this is the first expansion for Dawn of War. That's a pretty cool game, actually. Real-time strategy. There's some kind of Forge World Chaos Dragon. That looks pretty crazy. I wonder if that's still available. We got some kind of air show. So it was really like a mixed bag of stuff. Golden Demon. That's actually pretty sweet. That's a pretty high ranking skill level to get one of those, I think. But it's funny how kind of the styles of painting that Golden Demon, that one Golden Demon throughout the years have changed. You'll notice if you look back at like the really early ones, they look kind of basic now because of the different kind of techniques that have been kind of used by so many people. You know, that like airbrushes became more of a thing, and then maybe oil paints became more of a thing, and then just different techniques that kind of spread throughout. I don't know, the really high level, the skill level of painters and that kind of thing. So this is like what they all did in the month. Yeah, so he's still got Lord of the Rings on the go. This is like some kind of objective markers for this guy. Yeah, so Tyranids. I actually got into Tyranids. It's going to take a sup of tea. I got into Tyranids. I had some of these models. The Lictor and the, Gene Stealers, Hormagaunts, all the whole shebang. So I actually had a Tyranid Force at one point, but yeah, I think I've said it before. It just got lost. I don't know where it is. High elves. Now looking at these now, these are actually kind of bulky looking from nowadays kind of models, or at least they look like that to me. Lustra, you got Skaven Battalion here. That's pretty cool. What's that? 80 quid. I mean, that's okay. You got there's lots of models there. The plastic the rat ogres, that's pretty sweet. Some Lord of the Rings ruffians. That was from the Scorching of the Shire. That's funny. Look, they're just aquarium plants, but they're selling them 35 quid. Yeah, that looks a bit pricey for a few aquarium plants. Pretty sure you could get something similar or something crazier than that in a local pet shop, which is maybe a good tip. But that's not bad. 3 ruffians, metal ruffians for a tenner. They're pretty cool. You use them for different fantasy games as well. So what's this? Okay, that's like epic. Is it epic scale stuff? Pretty sure it is. You got a lot of Eldar things, Warlock Titan, Firestorms, Phoenix Bombers, and some kind of different Blood Bowl team here. Some human ones. So we got this is I think when Lustra was launched. Now there seems to be a really big glare there, but I don't know what I can really do with that. Jungle Fever. Oh yeah, this is a lot of fun. Quicksand and all these different mushrooms and man-eating plants and stuff like that. That's cool. So I'm pretty sure I read through all these years and years ago. All these kind of sketches, and I love when they expand the lore and that kind of thing. Like look at these different maps. Like I don't know if this is to do with a campaign. Yeah, campaign, which is cool. It just makes, I don't know, there's so much more value to the games and decisions in the games. I like this. Really armored up lizard man mount here. Oh, this is it. Yeah, okay, so this is Conquest of New World. Different scenarios and locations for fighting in Lustria, is it? And then you got zombie pirates of the Vampire Coast. I think they were actually brought into a Total War game eventually, and they got expanded on, which is pretty cool. I think you got some specific specialty units here. What is it, like conquistadors? Is that the word? The lads that went into, try find El Dorado and that kind of thing. I think that's more from a movie than actual history. Loads of different scenarios here, special scenarios. Jesus, they really give you a lot of information. Okay, ooh, that's stuck together for some reason. Maybe I got very excited reading this book. I don't know. Yeah, this is cool. So it's Battle Report. You got Lizardman there. Lovely setup here with the jungle plants. They actually do look really well. What's this, like insulation foam It's not actually too complicated to make. This looks like some Frankie D. Crafter kind of stuff here with the colours. And oh yeah, I remember this one. These ones are all really pimped up heroes. All these Bretonnian knights, and they all have like mad war gear, and they're going fighting all these. What's the point of this? Are they the same points? Hardly. But anyway, yeah, it's a specific scenario. Pretty cool. I always love these little drawings as well. I'd always kind of do these out myself, like in copybooks in school, for like different formations and that kind of thing. So who won that in the end? Who actually won? The shaking hands. Who won? Law of the Jungle. There's something out there holding on. Okay, I actually don't know. I suppose I could read it, but not. Necromunda. So what's this? They seem to be kind of comics or novels for Necromunda. They don't seem to be like rules or anything. Black Library. I really never got into the Black Library stuff. I think I might have started a few kind of audiobooks and that, but I never really finished any. It's interesting though. My brother listened to a lot of like Space Marine ones and that, and he know a bit about the lore just from that kind of thing. This is cool. This is the Tale of Four Gamers. This guy is Nurgle. This guy is Orcs. I don't know what episode this is. Maybe it's about, you know, each week they get a certain a certain budget, and then they have to kind of, you know, make something out of that budget and then add it into their army. So this guy did some kind of, what's that, Nurgle creatures mounted, plague bringers on these Nurgle mounts. I don't know. Hormigaunt sprue was used there. Nurgle bases. Yeah. No, it's cool. Like conversions, and this guy converted as well. He's standard bearer and musician together. This is all Warhammer Fantasy now. Again, excuse me. So there's some conversions going on here. This is pretty cool. Like this guy with the book. Here, I'll bring that up. Does that look any way better? Ooh, I need a better setup for this. Yeah, a little bit of plastic art for the book and green stuff. Something like simple stuff like that can really personalize it, and there's a one-of-a-kind miniature then straight away, you know. Seeing double, some kind of wood elf stuff. So we're getting into 40k now. Oh, this is some absolutely great artwork here. You got all these tyranids or tyranids. People call it both, or they just call it nids. These kind of chimneys coming up, tentacles destroying this big fortress. Gargoyles, ripper swarms. Oh, okay, this was even before the Carnifex was released. That's a really cool kit, actually, that Carnifex. I wish it was a little bit more posable and not so... I wish there was an option of it making like rearing up, so you could have it like standing up more straight. It'd be more imposing, because it's very like over on its front. That would nearly have to drag itself along, or at least that's the way I saw it anyway. Catachans. So this seems to be, oh yeah, fighting in swamps. I remember this one. And I think this shows you how to make them. Oh yeah, nice little detail as well there. Bird and little sides and stuff like that. It's not necessary, but kind of adds character to it. Now the foliage is a bit meh. In my opinion, I would have went for a darker color, but it's all very bright. I think I remember this guy. He has a really mad orc army as well, and I think he's colorblind. It doesn't say there, but I remember his orc army that is absolutely mental looking. I'll try to dig it out and show it to you, but the colors are like popping and really saturated. So maybe that's why the foliage is like that. So swamp battlefields. It's cool that they add things like that in. If you're kind of bored of the base game, or you've done so many scenarios, maybe you can throw this in to kind of mix things up, and so you play a bit differently. What's this? Different Terminator or Space Marine book. Different army lists here. I don't even know what edition this would have been. At least 6th edition, I think. Like this is the whole bike squad. No, yeah, bikes, the really fast moving one. Then you got firepower. Oh yeah, and this mechanized assault sample army. Yeah, different Space Marine ones. So this must have been in and around when these plastic Terminators came out. That's a cool kit as well. I like when they do things like that. They make it very customizable. The Games Workshop plastic is great. I think it's fantastic. It's rigid enough, and it's very easy fix. It's very easy work with if you want to, you know, you can kind of melt it, you can snap it, you can cut it, you can file it. You know, I think it's. I wish more companies use the exact same plastic. I don't know, like, if it's more expensive or what, but I think it's class. What's this now? Who are these guys? Blood Ravens. Is this from Dawn of War? It is, isn't it? Blood Ravens from the Dawn of War game. I feel like they are. Maybe someone can correct me. Yeah, Blood Ravens. This looks like more of a subdued red than Blood Angels, I think. Oh, this is cool. Okay, Heavy Metal Showcase. Let's get a bit closer for this, because hopefully this whole video hasn't been out of focus. Witch Hunter. That's pretty sweet. Nothing actually crazy, but he's got a lot of character. This guy, the Engineer, Man at Arms. There's a really nice finish on them. The Beast Lord, that's awesome. He's a cool mini. I'd even use him in D&D. Little mini Nightbringer from... It's a Necron guy, isn't it? That's like a Catan or something like that. Oh, look at this. This is fun. This is actually interesting. Test piece to try out a new technique for metals using ink wash over bare metal. That actually looks pretty good. Do you know, so the model would be pewter, and then he just did black wash over it, or something similar. Or this kind of priest guy here. That's interesting. That must be a custom model. Okay, let me line this back up. So we got a strategy battle game. So this must be after the Return of the King. They turned it into the strategy battle game to cover all the movies and different races and everything. Oh, we actually have some rules here. Okay. Arthorn. I think that's actually Aragorn's dad. I mean, they've probably released a proper mini for him at this point. But these are all conversions. And that's just another elf guy painted differently. I find the rules for Lord of the Rings now, if I was to play it again, I'd be a bit rusty, but I think it's quite simple. I totally missed the rules from The Hobbit. I never got back into The Hobbit strategy battle game. And there was different rules for, if you had a sword, you could like do a feint, I think it was, and then if you had an axe, you could do a different type of move, or if you had a mace, you could do a different type of move, which is really interesting. It's kind of annoying if you have, you know, you'd have to remodel potentially your models. Like if spears were better, you'd have to fucking remake them, which would be really annoying. Excuse me, but that kind of thing would be very interesting if I was to say get back into the Battle Company side of it. Then that kind of choice will be more important. But you get a lot of stuff here, yeah, different kind of ghosts and that kind of thing. I don't see, these probably won't be tournament legal back in Lord of the Rings strategy battle game tournaments, which actually they probably could be. I'm going to blur that picture out maybe, just for dim's sake. I'm just going to pass that over. It is pretty cool. What's this, kind of using a paper template to make this tower. Now to me that looks kind of untextured from this range anyway, from this far away. Maybe they did something to it. Insulation foam, man. Seriously, I should have got into that more when I was younger. They must have textured it some way. There's slight texture to it, yeah. But this is I don't know if I'd call it basic stuff, but you see a lot of D&D crafters doing crazy stuff. Well, not crazy stuff. This kind of basic structure stuff, and then building on top of it even further nowadays on YouTube. But this is like a really good step-by-step guide. And the fact that, look, they have that as well. Showing it 90% size. You just blow it up and then print it off. Oh, these are cool. So these are different hobbits. Like, look, this is Sam's dad, the gaffer. That's cool. Oh, these little hobbits, really funny little miniatures. They'd actually be great to pick up now if they were quite cheap for D&D or anything like that. Bilbo. Oh, that's not actually Bilbo. What's this one? Oh, this is like the Oh, I remember this. So this was the kind of tale of four gamers. Like I was talking about earlier, but with Lord of the Rings, they started with battle companies and they fought each other. And I remember this guy did really well. The Hermadrin guy did really good. And then they're doing a bigger battle. So he built and he painted up a monocle or a Oliphant. So that's this guy. So they started with their battle companies. Then they grew them and fought for a bit. And then they expanded until they had, I think it was about 500 point army. Let me see, like he's 150, I think. And then they're about 10 or 11 each. Oh, they're like 15 each. Okay, I'm not a magician, so I don't know. But anyway, yeah, that was the plan. And then they were going to do a big battle. Oh, these are cool. That's really nice. Look at that. That's just a nice paint job and conversion. Ogre, hunter, or like a man-eater. But oh no, maybe he's a hunter. Yeah, and he'd have the two saber tusk looking dudes. Really nice. Not actually a crazy amount of like sculpting or anything, but just really good solid kit bash and nice pose. Or this guy, here's the man-eater. Bretonian shield and everything on him. Really cool. You see the green stuff work, nothing actually crazy. And what's that? What does he use for that? Green stuff. He doesn't say what those wraps are made of. I think I remember once I was looking at something like that and somebody made wraps with elastic bands, which is a bit funny. But I think that's basically it. You'll see here going through all the Order Direct, bits and bobs, Swamp Things, bits for the Lizard Man. These were Store Finder. I think that was in most different from most of the White Dwarves. This is cool actually. From the GW that they'll feature, they'll do some like specific models from those places. That's actually a nice thing to do. I think that's cool. So they can show off their work. Maybe they're like their army generals and that kind of thing. Nice setup as well. Little tips like that. Kind of a weird place to put it actually. You know, painting up different scales and patterns, which actually might be handy for my squigs. Stripy and speckled. Yeah, that actually might be useful. And the old paints. Yeah, it's kind of strange that these tips are at the back. Oh, look at this. Radio controlled rhino. That's pretty sweet. That's really cool actually. And what's that? Necrons. Tyranids kind of look like a Necron as well actually. Anyway, guys, that's another flick through there. Not a bad White Dwarf. Nice mix of stuff in it. Anyway guys, yeah, look, I'll be back to you with another one when I can. Good luck.